Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the FB4 Daily. It is Saturday. The date, forget the date, I don't care. This show is brought to you by Paddy Power. Paddy Power, of course, is a bookies, an app, a website. You know yourself. If you feel like betting, try Paddy Power. Good odds on football, Liverpool specials, all other sports, everything else beyond that. Do gamble responsibly. If you don't gamble, it's not for you. Absolutely fine. Ignore everything I've said. We go from there. It's not the be all and end all of the show. Liverpool are 7 from 7. 21 points from 21. And my favourite result of the season. I'm going to be honest with you. Absolutely and utterly my favourite result of the season. Not very good for most of the game. I think a lot was made of Sheffield United and how well they done. The commentators afterwards and the pundits gushing about them. Don't get me wrong, they played well, but it wasn't anything more than I expected. I'm going to be honest with you. It was one of those where myself and Damo were talking about it last night on the show, and we were going back and looking back at them away to Everton. And although we aren't Everton, we're well above Everton's level, we were away from home as opposed to them going away to Everton last week. We did think they'd be well drilled. We did think they'd be really well organised, closing off gaps, making it difficult, and that's exactly what they've done, and absolutely fair play to them. But look, there's nothing better than going away from home in particular, not playing your best. I thought the front three were extremely poor today, but not playing your best and coming away with 3 points. I don't think there's anything bigger. I think it's a massive win for not only the points, but the mentality of the squad. The squad, let's be honest about it, will come away from that knowing they can do better, knowing they can play better. But they're coming away from it and they're thinking, lads, we didn't play well there, but we got the result. We absolutely got the result. We make it 7 from 7. The goal is quite fortuitous, but listen, if you're not in the draw, you can't win. That kind of way. But look, if you're online and you're on the chat there, absolutely, just throw in your comments, throw in your opinions, questions, feelings on the game. It's one of those where there's going to be people thinking certain players played well, and there's loads of people that are going to be thinking others didn't. A lot come out about Salah. Salah and not playing well. I don't think he did play well. He looked off. His passing wasn't great. I think that someone might be catching up with him a bit. Noel says big pressure on the evening game. Yeah, Noel, absolutely. It's one of those where people are writing off Everton, and look, Everton aren't great, but the one thing I would say is, and I've said it all week, Everton not being in a great position, having to fight for something, having to fight for their manager is a big thing for me. If Everton were doing quite well, we're sitting on 14 points now. They get a defeat against City and they go, fucked up the Reds, and we go on to the next one. But look, they have a chance. Of course, they have a chance, but it's a slim one. I've seen their side. I've seen Walcott's in it. It's a strange one for me. I don't think Walcott's played well all season from listening to Everton fans. So we'll have to wait and see. That game, of course, kicks off at 5:30. I will try finish this by 5:30, and we'll go from there. But just on the game itself, the lineup was the lineup that many expected. There wasn't one where it wasn't one where there's any surprises. The bench was as we felt it would be. Liverpool started off. Liverpool, look, you can go through minute by minute on this, but Liverpool controlled the majority of the game. Sheffield United were feeding off a few scraps. They were on the break the odd time. But other than that, I thought Liverpool were okay in that sense. People were saying, oh no, they didn't. I'm kind of reading the Twitter and stuff after it, and it was a bit, people weren't really impressed by it. But I'm trying to put into words this performance. This performance to me was rusty. We were, I suppose, frustrated throughout a lot of the game. The front three weren't really on it. It wasn't clicking. Credit to Sheffield United on that, though. They closed a lot of gaps that we like to get into. Even their fullbacks or their wingbacks worked incredibly hard to stop Alexander-Arnold and Robertson getting in behind them. They were trying to limit them to balls into the box, a bit like they done with Everton, but the opposite. They let Everton get to the byline a lot and felt they could deal with it, whereas they didn't want Liverpool getting to the byline because, Liverpool have the quality to pick something out more than Everton would. Centurion on YouTube says Sheffield United one of the better performances Liverpool have faced. One of the most organised sides I've seen in a long time against Liverpool. Really, where they were really compact but they had a good game plan. And listen, when they got their breaks, they did look a bit threatening. They did. Van Dijk, I thought, was exceptional. His positioning all day was unbelievable. A few balls thrown towards the far post, and he was there. He was heading them away. I thought Matip was brilliant. I thought Fabinho was outstanding today. I really did. Them three were really, really, really good. And although we weren't brilliant going forward at times, they gave us a really good base to start from. They really did. Fig says first half was okay. We were okay without getting a break. Second half was poor. Yeah, you know what? I felt that when the second half came, we would get more space. And when we got the goal, we did get a bit more space. But they were so dogged in defence, And you see where the goal comes from. A ball in, it's kind of half cleared. It drops to Fabinho. It drops to Wijnaldum. He hits a decent strike. No more than decent, but it's straight down the goalkeeper. He just takes his eyes off it for the second. It squirms in. It's a goal. But you know something? You need those breaks in a season. You really do. And on the balance of play overall, a draw was probably a fair result, let's be honest. Liverpool dominated a lot of the ball. Sheffield United had bits and pieces going on. McBurney worked really hard. Was Robinson up front, worked really, really hard. Centurion says Liverpool were very unfamiliar with Sheffield United's play style. We would fare much better against it later on. Listen, it's a learning curve, isn't it? So you go and you see that sort of game. Don't get me wrong, there's people are going to come out and they're going to look at Sheffield United, what they've done today, and they're going to say, there's a blueprint. Funnily enough, three at the back, which Liverpool usually thrive on, but their wing-backs were working so hard that they were making it a 5 when they needed to. Now, listen, let me see. Pele Jones 83 says he listens every morning, never catch a live. Great show. Thanks, man. I've never seen your name on this, so obviously you just listen back when it's on the download. Cheers, great to have you. If you have any comments on the game, throw them in. Any feelings on it, any questions, opinion, whatever else, absolutely throw them in. But it's teams will go now and teams will say, this is the way to do it. This is the way to do it against Liverpool. But you have to be extremely well drilled. And like Sheffield United come up and people went on about, they'll go straight back down and they'll do this and they'll do that. To be honest with you, if they're that well drilled for the rest of the season, I don't think they've any chance of going down. There's not a chance of them going down. I think because of their organisation, and they're decent on the break, they could have a little bit more quality on the break, just a little bit more. Just a little bit more. Random question, a team full of Carragher's or a team full of Van Dijks? I'm going to go Van Dijk. We defend unbelievably. We'd be so cool on the ball, and I think he has a finish in him as well. So it'll have to be a team of Van Dijks. But look, it's what do people think of man of the match? For me, it's a toss up between Van Dijk and Fabinho, and I'm just about going to give it to Fabinho. I thought he was excellent. He just filled so many gaps. He got in, he got stuck in, he ticked the ball over when he needed to. It was a complete performance, and people going on this week about him being the best centre midfielder in the country and in Europe. I think they've a lot to back up their feelings on with that performance today. Centurion says, for all the criticisms, we were 4 or 5 instances away from making it a stroll. Yes, we were. But in fairness, we get that bit of luck for the goal. They get a little bit of luck in some interceptions they make and the way the ball bounces. Liverpool on a more clinical day, are on a stroll after sorting them 4 or 5 instances out. They really, really are. But Adrian gets a booking. I found that funny, because I did see somebody on Twitter afterwards going, I remember Adrian, and he used to be so slow when he was with West Ham, bouncing the ball at the cop end and this, that, and the other. And if they were delighted with that today, just taking a little bit of sting out of it. Take the yellow card, he takes a bit of sting out of it. I'm absolutely happy with that. Trent, if we go through the team, Trent thought done all right, gave it away a couple of times, couple of loose balls into the box, but was always an outlet. And they feared him. They really did. They were trying to make him cross the ball from as deep as he possibly could. They did not want him getting in behind at all. Robertson done okay. Got up and down. Couple of times he could have got in, and just like one of the lads says there, just that little bit off, but done okay. Matip and Van Dijk I thought were excellent. Marshall the defence great. Matip particularly when they were on the break, he was marshalling their break very well, and Van Dijk was covering and being in the right position. Midfield, Henderson. Wasn't a great game from Henderson. I didn't think it was a great game from Wijnaldum either, but he gets the goal. Fabinho I thought was outstanding. The standout midfield really was. Front three, look, Salah just looked off it. Is the summer catching up with him? It may be. He may be just on that bit of a, after the international break and the rest he had, just getting back up to full speed. But listen, if you have Salah and he's 4 or 5 goals in the league after 7 games, and we're saying he's not really at it, great. Let's get into November, December, and right into the turn of the year when things get really going and Salah clicks. And when Salah clicks into gear, listen, he's going to get 20 league goals. There's no doubt about that, in my opinion. But one of those days where it didn't happen for him, and no problem. It happens to all the players. Firmino, quite quiet. They were very good at snuffing out what he was trying to do. It was one of those where he couldn't find those little spaces that he wanted to, because they were really blocking it off. If you watch the game back, the amount of times where they're looking around them and saying, we need to stop that space, they were really good. Did anyone today think Salah would score when he was 1-on-1? You didn't today. Yeah, it was just one of those games. It was one of those games where you just didn't feel it was going to go. There was one of the first where he robs the ball and he's looking to corner into the far corner and he just doesn't hit it with any conviction, So it's just one of those. People have days like that, lads. They do have days like that. Don't worry about it. He will come good. There's absolutely no doubt about that. Pele Jones says it's a funny fact that he grew up playing hockey with Quizmaster Chris Brack. Really? Field hockey or ice hockey? Let me know. Mark Gallagher, that would have been a draw last season, even when not playing well. We're a different animal now. Shows how far we have come. Mark, it's the belief. A lot of teams would start hitting the ball from deep and getting in the box, throwing a big guy up front. I thought Origi was very good when he came on. He impacted. He stayed out left. He committed players. I thought he was really good when he came on. It was great to see from Origi, because sometimes in that left hand position he works hard. He holds onto the ball majority of the time, okay, but he can be a bit one trick. Go down the left, try a bit like Heskey was at Liverpool when they played him on the left, where Heskey just loved to get it down the wing and on his left foot and hit it in. Origi had a bit more about him today. It was really good from Origi. Centurion says the midfield needs a second look. 4-2-4 or 4-5-1. Diamond will be interesting. Do you know something? You come up against these sides and sometimes it absolutely works for you. They go with 3 at the back, 2 wing backs. They'll go with 3 in midfield and 2 up front, and you can handle them. It does hold back your full-backs a little bit because they have to be wary of 2 up front. But just, excuse me, just sometimes it can be just that little bit like that, and there's nothing you can really do, It's when you look at it and you analyse the game again, I genuinely come away from that game going, not very good. A lot of players looked off it, but we won the game. And be honest, lads, maybe not as much Man City, because Man City dogged a lot of results out last season early on. United were famous for it. Arsenal done it. Chelsea done it. They've all done it. They've all done it where they've gone away and come away and thought, Jesus, how do we get away with that one? In league winning teams, so it happens, everyone. The weather played a part. Sheffield United buzzing after their Everton result, although they were beaten in the League Cup during the week, but coming into it off the back of a league win away at Goodison Park, there was a mix there where it could have got a bit naughty for Liverpool, but I just came away absolutely ecstatic. Mick says, just keep winning. This team deserves the title. Deserved. I don't really go in for deserved. I think 7 from 7 is a fantastic start. It's put itself in a brilliant position. We have is it Leipzig on the week during the week, and is it Leicester at home? Before is the next international break then? It could be. I'm brutal when it comes to fixtures. But Mick, brilliant position to be in. Sit back for the rest of the weekend and watch what unfolds. Centurion says the kind of dogged performance sets us up well for hard games against Leicester and Man U. Absolutely it does. Although Leicester, I don't think we'll come and play like that. I genuinely don't. I think Leicester are more open. It suits them to be more open. I don't know if they're as disciplined as that Sheffield United side will be, and that will probably suit us more. United, you don't know what you're going to get. We'll see on Monday night what they're going to get in a big game against Arsenal at home, but you really, really don't know. But look, all these sort of games where Arsenal throw like a weird formation at us. Burnley try bully us. Norwich tried to play football against us. Go through all the games, and this one today is just something different, and we've passed all those tests, and it's good because listen, it's not the best performance, but when you come out of it and you go into next week and you say, you know what, that ever happens again, we know where it could be Sheffield United or Anfield. It could be Sheffield United or Anfield, and you could be thinking, oh, remember this the last time Liverpool have learned, the kind of way. So no panic, you get your 3 points and you're absolutely happy. Pele Jones says, yeah, 3 points is 3 points. Fabinho awesome, Origi solid, made up, we ground out to 3 points. I'm just over the moon with it. Like, I was delighted with the opening day, I was delighted against Arsenal, Burnley, Chelsea, delighted. But that one today, to when the final whistle goes, you go, Jesus, you know what? That's a proper ground out win. When you see one where they said Chelsea was ground out, I don't think it was. I think we're the better team for 65 minutes against Chelsea and should have been probably 3 up. And then we did grind a little bit towards the end of that. But today was a proper grind. And I'm absolutely delighted. Mick says we have 99 points from our last 38 games, starting to break records. That's outrageous, isn't it? And that's the level you have to be at, Mick. City have done it with 100 points one season and 98 the next. And I genuinely think they'll go mid-90s again. I think Liverpool, 96 wins of this season. That's my prediction. I've predicted Liverpool need 30 wins and 6 draws to win the league this season. They can afford to lose 2. That's just how I feel on it. But look, we'll have to wait and see. But as somebody said there, all you can do is keep winning games. I'm going to actually just get the fixtures up in front of me because I'm awful when it comes to fixtures. I usually walk about a week in advance, and then. But let's have a little look. Liverpool home to Salzburg on Wednesday, home on Saturday against Leicester, and then the international break kicks in for 2 weeks again. Then we start with away to United, away to Genk, home to Spurs, home to Arsenal in the League Cup. Away to Villa. There's a couple of interesting ones in there, but look, lads, if we can come out with this with a win against Genk and a win against Leicester, and we go 8 from 8 and we're back on track in the Champions League, I'll absolutely be over the moon. Centurion again says he agrees with the Origi show, a quick shuffle, the skill of the match. Yeah, do you know something? It was just, when he come on, I thought we're going to end up with funneling the ball to him and he's going to try A, get down the left and just hit balls in, or B, just get on his right foot, the usual trick, on his right foot and start whipping balls. But I thought he was much better than that. He was a lot more controlled in what he was doing. He was thinking about a lot more what he was doing. It was a really, really good performance. And look, if Origi can go and be like that, if he can go and be like that, it's much easier to put him in the team. It's much easier to put him in the team and rest one or two of the lads. But sometimes when Origi gets in the side and there's a bit of an injury here or there, he can look a little bit one-dimensional. So that's just the way I am with Origi, but fair play to him. Hats off today. I thought he was very, very good. Al says, you reckon Elliott is ready? He looked outstanding versus MK Dons. I said this, me and Damo said it on the pod last night. I feel he is. Is he 17 yet? I'm not too sure, but if Shaqiri is making the bench every week and is now injured, I'd put him in. I just would. And do you know what? Sometimes a little bit of youth thrown into the side and a bit of carefree stuff, especially in a tight game like that, you never know what he can come up with. And against that, if we were 2 or 3 up, like somebody said earlier, we were 4 or 5 little details off being the stroll. If we're strolling there today with 20 minutes to go, you put him in and you know what, take a midfielder out and lash him in with that front three and let him have a good time. It's no bad thing from. I think he's ready. Age doesn't matter. Just get him on and see how he can get on. Mick says he can see us winning all our league games until we play City. Jesus, Mick, I'll have to have a look at that. How far down the line are we talking here? Let me see. So the league games you'll be talking will be home to Leicester, away to United, home to Spurs, away to Villa. Okay, it's only 4. Yeah, there's quite a possibility. United's going to be tough. Don't make any bones about it. United's going to be tough. We've turned up there for 2 seasons now where we're clearly the better side. I think we got beaten and drawn, maybe. Yeah, I think so. So United will be tough. Spurs will be no rollover. Villa have shown signs. So they're all tough games, but Liverpool are a good side, and we can say what we want about. I suppose we can say what we want about other sides and Liverpool. But Liverpool, I just love the way they're passing tests, and that was a test today. It really was a test. I love the way they're doing it. I love the way. They probably knew they weren't at their best. They probably knew they were trying to adjust to something for the majority of the game. And they still came out and got it. All right, the goal was fortuitous, but they still came out and got it. And, and they get the goal with 20 minutes to go and they hold out. And there is a few moments there and thereabouts. I'm not going to mention the referee. Well, I am going to mention the referee. I didn't think he was great. And I thought he was just going to keep playing all night. To call the game up, it's over. But look, it's just one of those, isn't it? Centurion reckons Klopp will not put Elliott in the next 2 matches. It goes against precedence. He may not, but do you know what? If something wild like Lallana went down with an injury and you need, I think he'd be my fourth man on the bench. He really would. I thought he might get a sniff with Shaqiri being out, but he went a different direction with that. But he'd be my man to throw in there, even alongside, even before Brewster. Being honest with you, he really, really would. Not Red said that was a slog today. Yes, it was. It was a slog, and I loved it. Every single minute of it, I loved it. The reaction of the players on social media and stuff afterwards tells you how much of a slog it was, how happy they are to come away with the 3 points. But by reading their social media, you can tell that they're not over ecstatic with themselves. Their feet are firmly on the ground. They feel that, yeah, they've won the game, but there's more to come, and that's it. It's a learning curve for them. So we'll have to wait and see. But if you have any random questions, throw them in. I'm going to do about 2 or 3 more minutes, and then let you go and enjoy the rest of your Saturday evening. What do we reckon? Have you any predictions for Everton? Give me score predictions for Everton against City. I've made my case for Everton trying to get something. I could be completely off it, but listen, I've made my case, so we'll have to wait and see. If the genie shot doesn't go in, I still think we win the game, says Mick. We may do, but look, it went in, and isn't the goalkeeper is he on loan from United? I've seen a few. Look, I literally go into tunnel vision when the game comes on. I'm watching the game. I can't even hear the commentators. I'm just watching, and then I switch it off. Reckon Alisson could be back after the next international break, says Darren. Yeah, I do. I think he'd be back for United. I genuinely do. And listen, Adrian's done nothing wrong. Another good performance today. Solid. Slowed the game down. Took a yellow card. The whole lot. Proper performance. Absolutely proper performance. Figs has no. He's not sharing my optimism on Everton. He goes 3-0 City. We'll have to wait and see. Liverpool started with supposed defensive frailties. We are leaning back to our form of last season. Yeah, we are starting to. We absolutely are starting to. There's a couple of little issues here and there, but nothing outrageous at the moment. But as somebody said there earlier, if you can go to the next 4 league games, could you imagine going into City 11 from 11? Because and City were to drop any more points, you're looking at an 8-point gap with a chance to absolutely pull away, that kind of way. But Centurion says they have to get massacred. We'll have to wait and see. I just feel that as I said, if Everton were in decent form, they'd probably take a defeat today and go, well, they're a level above, and it messes with the Reds, so on to the next one. Whereas today, managers under pressure, players have been getting it in the back, the fans aren't happy, the fans will be up for this one. They need to show us something, so it's a decent scenario. I'm not saying Everton will get something, but it's probably the best scenario we could hope for Everton going in to play Man City. That's how I feel about it. But look, the Reds have gone 7 from 7, 21 points from 20 21. 23 more league wins needed, in my opinion. Fun fact, says Mick, hot water freezes more quickly than cold. Wow. I'm going to try that. Thanks for that, Mick. I like that sort of stuff. Not so many random questions today, but a couple of fun facts, including Chris Brack is meant to be lethal. Quizmaster Chris Brack, lethal at the field hockey. Yeah, look, that's us. We're going to leave it there. 25 minutes. That's enough of my time, enough of your time I've taken up on this Saturday evening. Talk to you soon. Over and out.